This is what happens when the mosquitoes tear you up.
Yeah. Mhm. Oh, I still have the stuff from Curacao.
Oh, you do?
Mhm.
Is it in the closet?
Mhm.
Oh, guys, whatever you do, hold your horses. I'm gonna be back. But I'm gonna be back with mosquito bite relief.
Not if another mosquito bites you.
Why would you curse me like that?
Because I'm seeing either a mosquito or a fruit fly, and I don't know which. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.
Don't know why I closed the door, but
Oh,
my people.
freedom.
Whoa, you can't. It's green. You can't see what it is.
Well, yeah, it's green.
It's green. Alcoloda? Alodo? Whatever it is, it's basically menthol lotion for when the mosquitoes hit you.
It's like not lotion. It's just like liquid. It's just.
It's
no moisture. It's just menthol and something. Probably alcohol. Hey, Mike. What's up, friendo?
What's up, Buckaroo?
Hey, buddy. Let's see about that Twitter.
Oh, if Twitter works.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody know if Twitter's Periscope is really gone already? Because if
They're
so,
fully gone, have they?
yeah, it would appear so.
Yeah, guess it's gone.
Wow, that's tragic.
Have they brought back no live streaming on Twitter at all? Right now?
Interesting.
That sucks.
Oh yes, I talked to Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you? I don't remember if I told you.
Partially.
But how he gonna help us make this shit better.
I
just have him back because I've been busy. But anywho.
Welcome to insert name here. Oh, my water.
Is it spinning?
Bad things.
Whoa.
Brought to you in full Technicolor in living sound with the dulcet tones of the beautiful, the smart, what's the word?
Ingenious? Is that the word you're going for?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, that could be me.
Ingenious. Intrepid.
Oh.
Alejandra. Both.
Mm.
And me, the cold-blooded Malachi unique. I'm also vivacious. I'm nice too. I'm nicer. But yeah, we're here. We're here this week. What's up, y'all? Y'all are weird, dog. Can we just say that real quick? Can I say R.I.P. to the folks who, like real R.I.P. to the folks?
Oh, sorry.
Who, I should start. Let me do a fake R.I.P. Who's a fake R.I.P.? I don't know. Fake R.I.P.
To maybe my legs with all these mosquito bites. You might be seeing me with 2 missing legs at the end of this month with these mosquito bites.
Yeah, you know, R.I.P. to a lot of people's quarantine haircuts because you know, that sucks for you to cut your hair. Some of y'all was looking fly. But you know what? They will be resurrected like Jesus on Easter Sunday because it's coming back to Kofifi. And you know what? I feel like we might as well just start there with the fact that Provincetown...
No, sorry. Elise said nicer. I want y'all to know that I think people think Malaysia's meaner than me, but the things that
Oh, you think I'm meaner than Alejandra? That's hilarious.
The things that I say, I'm definitely probably the meanest. Me and Akira.
It's definitely between you and Akira.
Between me and Akira, the meanest is up for grabs.
No, but seriously, I'm loud. She's mean.
I'm mean.
I'm loud and what, like sort of harsh.
Okay,
I can be
that's
stern.
fine.
Oh yeah, I'm the bad one. Everybody says I'm the bad one. I love it. I love to be the bad one. I'm a rabble rouser. I'm a problem causer, and I don't mind. I accept that reputation with gusto. But she really does. She's really a bitch, to be honest.
Isita said that I have no filter. I just say what I mean, and I don't even think that it's gonna be bad. And then she'll look at me. She's like, "That's not a nice thing, me." Oh, okay. What do you guys say?
Terrible. But I just, yeah. So, Kofefe, can we talk about that real quick? Because I feel like somebody somebody was saying several months ago that Covfefe was not going away, and that if it didn't come back by the summer, it would be back by the fall. I don't know. There was a few somebody saying that, but I know there was definitely at least one somebody saying it in this room.
I distinctly remember 2-3 weeks ago, I said, ain't it a little strange that all these elected officials and would-be elected officials and whatever else the fucks are walking around without masks, talking to every single person they find, taking all these cute little pictures without a mask, and people are like, no, that's fine. No,
Bro,
it's okay.
Facts.
No, it's fine. You think it's fine. And we knew then that there were, like, the Delta variant was already developing in the past couple weeks, because it's been around for a while. So we knew that, and we said, no, what we're going to do is everybody just full force, go canvassing, go door knocking, do all these campaign events.
I'm just like, I just remember, like, people being like, I got my vaccination. Is it wrong for me to refuse to wear a mask? Because I'm vaccinated. And the CDC said it was the honor system. And if you're vaccinated, you're fine. And now look at us. They stopped freaking tracking. I knew for real, for sure, that it was not gonna go away when they stopped tracking the what's
contact
it called?
Tracing?
Yeah, when they stopped doing contact tracing. That's when I knew for sure that it was sticking around, because I feel that if it were gonna be a small thing, they would do contact tracing. Like, if it were just gonna be, a few people get COVID, you could track it, and that would make sense if it were just a few people, right? But if it's gonna be a lot of people and they don't want that, make a sense why they stopped doing contact tracing. And I'm like, but also it was just kind of, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I'm too. I don't know. I just feel like people need to be discerning and, like, think, because like, I just feel like it's a vaccination, right? You take a vaccination and it protects you from something, like, to the extent that your body can protect from something, you know? Like, it doesn't make you Superman.
It doesn't make you immortal. Like, you're still gonna die.
I just don't.
You can still die from it. I don't know. People saw these reports and they were like, okay, the CDC said if I'm vaccinated, I don't have to wear masks, which means I can't get COVID. Where did you jump to that conclusion? Where did you see that?
I don't understand.
I
never really stopped wearing a mask. I mean, I've been to some restaurants and stuff like that. Some indoor things I probably shouldn't have been to, and we'll probably stop going to be honest. But at least those people were vaccinated. But, like, I'm just like, it's still like, guys. But anyway, in Provincetown, Massachusetts, there was a little 4th of July shindig that a lot of freaking people got Covfefe. A lot of them. Like, at first, the first article I saw was saying 740 something. And then after that, like, the updated, because the article I saw was from today. The updated article from today also said 830 people. That was like, however many hours ago Charlie Baker gave a press conference and shit.
And it was, the initial report was like 100 and something people.
Mm-hmm.
That was the initial first report, and they knew it would get worse.
Now it's more than 830 people.
I think the thing that we most have to pay attention to is also that they're saying that the vaccinated people, like, studies are showing that vaccinated people hold more, like, of the COVID thing, so we can transmit it because we'll have more of the cells in us to transmit it. Yeah, that's really bad. That's very bad, yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I've been seeing a few reports of, like, it's a preliminary report, basically, but a bunch of them are basically saying that if you are vaccinated, the people with vaccine in their blood are showing to have more COVID in them than unvaccinated people. But obviously, when you're vaccinated, you can obviously fight it off better because you have it. But what that means is that for unvaccinated people, but if you end up around a vaccinated person with COVID, the likelihood is they're passing on more COVID than you having been with an unvaccinated person.
Right. That's wild to me, right? That the shots are free and people still aren't taking them because, like, how often do we get free healthcare here in America? Like, come through, get the free healthcare. It's fun. Like, you know how nice it is. Me personally, I went to the Reggie Lewis, right? And I don't know, people want to act like that's weird, but it's literally just a shot in my arm. They could do it in a damn hole, to be honest. As long as they clean my arm and the needle's clean, come out of a package.
Like, women literally get stuff with, like, birth control from the time they're, like, 14 that hasn't been properly studied, to be quite honest. Like, ever. Like, the effects of birth control haven't been properly studied on women. They
studied it on men.
And we're just like, no, you know what? You can stuff yourself with this random birth control, but a vaccine?
No, but I mean, like, yeah, like, it was so nice to just go up in there. Oh. They said, you have an appointment. I said, yes. I showed them my thing. They said, okay, go stand in the line. But there wasn't much line. So I got there. One person went in. Then I went in. And then I sat down at one of the tables. And the lady said, okay, get the thing. And I said, okay, on this arm. And she said, okay. And then that was it. She did it. And then she checked the thing. It said, go sit there for however many minutes it was. And I didn't die in those 7 minutes or however long it was.
15, I think, is what they make you sit for.
I didn't die in those 15 minutes, and it was fine.
It's just get vaccinated.
Because
it's scary hours. Like, the people that are showing. So what they're saying is that a lot of people showing up to hospitals are people that are unvaccinated.
Yeah, and they're freaking. I've heard like a lot of them are like flipping out, like not like begging for vaccines.
Yes,
and I'm like, give it to them, but yes, if they can take it. Like other people are like, see, they should have took it, and they're like being like devilish, like die or something. I'm like, no, if they can take the vaccine, give them the vaccine. Their family members come like, my dad died from COVID. Now I'm scared. I want the vaccine. Of course, give them the vaccine. What the hell? This is part of our problem, is that this is the problem with Americans. Like, do y'all not understand? Y'all mad at these people because they won't get the vaccine. You do remember that part. Now they're coming to get the vaccine. You can't still be mad. You get that, right? We get that? Anyway. But yeah, Chuckles is being really strange about this mask thing. He really does not want to admit that we're gonna have to go back on lockdown at some point soon, probably. So the CDC is finally being honest and saying, yeah, there should probably be mask mandates in schools, even if everybody is vaccinated,
because. This is ultimately what happens with the fact that we really wanted to push to bring the country back to normal so fast, instead of actually taking the time to realize that shit was not working. Like, this was not going to be an effective plan. We did not have enough research about how the vaccine was going to work long terms, in terms of like we knew that if everybody got vaccinated, that we would be good, or like better than we are now. But we also knew that wasn't going to happen. That
half of the country didn't even believe it was a thing. I'm sitting here it was just negligence on everybody's part. And that's the thing that's killing me about it, is because nobody is blaming Joe Biden for this. And I think he has some blame. Like, now it's his administration that's failing, you know? He should... Why isn't Joe Biden... He sees cases going up. We know what the future is going to be. This is like that time where they're like, just 2 weeks mask and we could kick it all out, but nobody would fucking mask.
Just 2 weeks. It was March and April 2020. Just 2 weeks, guys. Let's stay at home, wear a mask for 2 weeks. Let's keep this shit under wraps. No.
Can't do it. Refuse.
Can't do it. It's suppressing my freedom. My First Amendment rights. My Second Amendment rights to show my face. They're being oppressed. So now here we are. Here we are for the fact that likely things are going to get a lot worse. The vaccine, they're testing to see if we can get a booster. We're going to wait to see. I know that on TikTok, which is probably... one of the best COVID kind of informational sites.
I'm the one who ate the spaghetti.
What'd you say?
Said I'm the one who ate the spaghetti just now.
You're sick. Okay, booster shot. So they're doing testing now, and then on TikTok, the best COVID news site. I saw a man that was actually in one of the first trials for the vaccine, who's currently in the trial to get the booster to see if it works.
Well, so that's makes cool. Sense for him.
But we'll see if that works for us.
I just like I'll take more free healthcare, TBH. But I don't like. My thing is, I have a strong fear that our current president is going to behave very similarly to our former president when it comes to actually dealing with COVID in terms of, lockdowns and mask mandates and Donald Trump was better on stimulus probably. Because the ego wins with that one.
Yeah, having his name on the check was more important than anything else.
But like I'm suspecting Joe, like I've said before, had it been 2020 and Joe Biden was president, of course he would have locked everything down. He would have done everything right. He would have. But now, after everybody's sick of it, it's been a year. All these Republicans are wilding out. All these people ready to storm the Capitol. They're still. Michael Flynn was talking about. Somebody gave him a gun and he was talking about, should I go find somebody in Washington? What? You're a freaking general or former general. You were the damn whatever you were in Donald Trump's White House. Anyway, and you were in jail, but you got pardoned. But anyway, but I'm serious. Like, I just don't think I have a fear that our current president will
he gonna let us die.
Do what we need him to do.
He gonna let us out to die, and he gonna make any person that voted for him regret their choice. Well, if you're logical. You're gonna, if you don't regret it right now, which many of us do, is it regret when you knew coming into it was gonna be bad?
Like, that's a thing, like...
Is it regret, or is it just, sadness? Like, whatever. But, yeah. So, Lee left a comment, and he said, remember when the MBTA told us drivers not to wear masks because it'd freak people out, and then the drivers started dying.
They started getting COVID.
I just want you guys to know that, like, bruh, like, more people get, like, okay... COVID the first time, it killed a lot of us.
It's over 600,000 Americans. That's a lot of people in a year.
A lot of us, and from our working class communities. I'm talking about grocery store, the MBTA drivers. I'm talking about the people that work in essential jobs that we need them to work every day to make sure that our shit gets here on time. Make sure we have food. Make sure the Amazon deliveries come.
Right, the post office.
Like, these people died. And died horrible deaths. And we're just
then nobody cared about them. They weren't being paid properly, as if that fixes that dying. But at least you could have some dignity before you keeled over from a disease we could have prevented from getting as big as it did. When COVID comes back, because, let's stop playing. This is the problem we had, but when nobody can deny it when it comes back, like, when no insane can deny it. Like, we have to do it for real, bro. We have to be like, if you live on this street, you can go to stores this day. We have to do it for real, like, because they're just gonna be too, and I know everybody's gonna hate that, and everybody's like, you terrible, and you're whatever they're gonna say about me. But I'm just like, fuck the government, but to be honest, y'all gotta understand, it's like all of us and all of us are a threat. Like everybody's in danger and everybody's a threat. That's the shit. Like, so
it's life or death. Like, especially with the fact that it's Delta, it's Lambda.
Yeah.
Gamma. Freaking the whole Greek alphabet is right there, ready to kill us all, and we're just like, oh, but I won't be able to. I want to
go to Rolling Loud. But anyway.
I have a friend that went to Rolling Loud. I'll call him stupid because he is stupid for that. If you went to Rolling Loud, you're really kind of crazy. Like, and you went to Rolling Loud, didn't wear a mask, didn't take no COVID test. Like, the thought process that you must have gone through. You
should have just stayed home and rolled loud, to be honest.
The way I could have listened to Meg,
all the artists you love.
The way I could have listened to them from at home and had the best Rolling Loud in the world.
all the artists you love. But no, I was talking about Chuckles. Charlie Baker is a fool, and he's I don't know, man. Like, sir, you already killed all the old people last time, bro. You wanted to take the rest of us out too? Like, is that the goal? Like, but anyway, he was like, yeah, I'm considering the school thing, which basically means he's gonna do it like at some point soon. And for the other events, for the travel, like advisory, he was like, no. And then for like reinstating the mask mandate statewide, he was like, I still want to talk to people and blah. And I'm just like, bro, I don't understand what y'all problem with masks is. It's been over a year and I still don't understand why y'all don't like masks so much. Do you not brush your teeth? Like, is that the problem?
Probably.
Like, they'd be like, I can't breathe. I'm like, why can't you breathe?
Because they're poisoning their own breath. Yes, they're so used to poisoning everybody else with their poisonous breath. Like, that now they have to smell it and they're like, whoa, no.
Like, what do you mean you can't breathe? Like, they don't even be double, triple masked up. Like, I be in two, sometimes, like, early in the pandemic, I used to be in 2 masks and 2 filters in one of the masks. Like,
Mike said masks are the cheapest way to save a life, and they refuse literally the cheapest way to make
sure. Not only cheap, but just easy as hell. Like, I have glasses. I know they get foggy sometimes, but it's, like, not that big of a deal.
You live.
It's, like, really not that big of a deal. I don't understand what the big problem is. But yeah, just like, guys, come on, like, wear the mask again, guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I know everybody want to be like, oh, we could be this, whatever. Okay, if you die, whatever. That's not my business, I guess.
Also, remember when, Kim Janey this week or last week announced that BPS would all have to wear masks, which is dope. But remember when they bullied her into opening up the city? Mm-hmm. Remember when they're like, the businesses need to come back. We need to open up Boston. It's not fair. It's not right. Look at us now. And this is also what happens when, like, you use things for, like, political gain. And this is, like, I would blame Anissa very positively because she was one of the biggest ones that was pushing for it. But these political people were using the campaigns to be like, she has to open up the city because our small businesses are suffering. Look at us now, because what's going to happen?
And you know, it's real cute that somebody like Anissa could say that, even though she's not a large candidate, because she doesn't give a fuck about the communities that were most affected by COVID. So, and I thought she gave a fuck about East Boston, but maybe not. You know, but anyway, yeah, so fuck that, huh? Fuck Charlie Baker. I don't know what he's doing.
Fuck us, huh?
We're gonna, like, if that many people in Provincetown can get COVID, you know how small, it's not that big, that place. It's a tourist spot, but it's not that big, and I know there's a lot of people 4th of July weekend, but, like, all those people, they coming from wherever parts of Mass they're coming from, whoever they came in contact with that weekend. And I'm not even talking about the people they was hanging out with. I'm talking about you walk past somebody, you got an ice cream cone from somebody was in the bathroom next to you washing their hands. Like, that, you know, that's enough. Mm-hmm. So, the whole town probably going to have COVID soon. But, yeah. And so I guess on to, like, some political goss.
Drama.
The drama, my fave. Okay.
There was drams, guys.
There was a little bit of drama, because, well, you know, okay. My thing is that Kim Janey she is not a transparent person. Like, she's just not generally a transparent person. In general, like, I feel like I don't know her that well, but what I know of her and conversations I've had with her and seen her have with other people,
see her in action. Mm-hmm.
She's not a transparent person as a whole, and like that very much translates over into her political career, because you ask her a question, you're not really gonna get an answer necessarily unless, I don't know, she wants the answer, unless it's one of her questions, like one of the questions she's interested in. So I guess JP Progressives found that out.
Well, no. So the drama about JP Progressives is that they were looking to endorse Kim Janey.
Oh.
They were looking to endorse her, and they were planning on having a vote. The questionnaire is a different, I think, group. Oh. But JP Progressives looking to endorse Kim Janey, and like there was a large divide between the JP Progressives as a whole, because they were like, why would we endorse Kim Janey? And the other half, like, of course we'd endorse Kim Janey. Who else would we endorse? And so they had, like, a very long meeting yesterday where they were kind of going, like, it was, like, an hour or two of them going back and forth and debating over who they should endorse. Also, there are, like, rules on, like, if you're a JP Progressive member, you have to have attended a certain number of meetings to be able to vote to endorse. So there was a lot of drama about that over the past 2 nights. And this is also kind of coming on to the fact that SEIU 888, which is a bunch of city workers, endorsed Kim Janey.
Which is hilarious. Which
is her second major union endorsement.
That is hilarious. Which, okay, it makes total sense. Kim Janey is from a developer family. She's a developer girl, you know? And all the unions and stuff endorsing her is gonna make sense. I think it's hilarious because I'm trying to figure out what 888's members think about the city employees who are forced back to work. If any of them, I don't know, maybe none of them are women. But
no, it's not funny. It's because 888 filed a lawsuit a couple weeks ago, or was going to file a lawsuit against the city of Boston / Kim Janey for forcing them to go back to work. And then suddenly, after some closed-door conversation, some shit we don't know about, some shit the public will never hear, 888 endorses her.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. Like, I think, like, you know, obviously unions endorse people, and that's what they do. But I just think it's really funny when it seems like sort of contrary to, like, your members or whatever. But, like, that's, you know, that's their business. Nobody cares who these people endorse. Like, only...
They're just good for publicity.
Only nerds care. Like,
they're good for publicity, just so you can say, "Oh, I have the union support me and blah blah blah." Like that's it, bro. Like no one. That's it. And so there was a bunch of drama, and so Jonathan Cohn, he tweeted about basically how he didn't directly mention Kim Janey, but
everybody knows
it was clear.
Everybody
about
knows
how,
it's her.
I think he's Ward 4 or one of those groups. I can't remember exactly which group he's associated with. But for whatever he's associated with, they sent out a questionnaire to all of the mayoral candidates, as well as at large, I believe. And they were basically still waiting only for Kim Janey's response, and they extended the
Someone's response.
I'm sorry. Allegedly,
Someone's response.
Allegedly Kim
Janey. Everybody is thinking, assuming.
The assumption. I believe some of his
that somebody
tweets
confirmed
after he was basically... Like, if somebody mentioned her name, he wasn't saying no. So, that's a confirmation to me. But allegedly, Kim Janey, her campaign manager, never, like, it was taking them at a very long time. They kept extending the deadline. Then finally, it was like, okay, we can't extend it anymore. You got to send it in. And when they did receive it, it wasn't in the format that they told them to send it in.
It was a PDF. Which, see, the moment he said it was a PDF, I was like...
A PDF?
I was like, do they not want them to be able to open it? Or, like, do they not want them to be able to, like, copy? I'm like, they don't want, like, what? Why would they send it as a PDF? The reason those hoes sent it as a PDF was because they fucking deleted questions.
Deleted hella questions.
Mad questions.
Let me go see if I
a
can
bunch
find
of yes or no questions. A bunch of awkward questions that I know that somebody... wouldn't want to answer. Somebody's campaign wouldn't want to answer. And the campaign manager, when he was describing this person, seemed like they might be rather reluctant to talk to their boss or demand that their boss do something that they need to do. Which I'm thinking about the candidates I know, and there's very few I could think of who it would be.
Here are some of the questions that were missing. Oh, what? Okay.
Oh, I answered him.
Okay. One second. Let me just make sure. There are a few. Okay. This question was deleted. Which of the following groups have you chosen to reject / would reject campaign contributions from? A. For-profit developers. B.
Yes.
Fossil fuel executives and lobbyists. Charter school advocates and lobbyists. Police officers.
Yes. Okay. All of them. Thanks.
That's number 4. That was deleted.
She said, I want. Why would you delete it? I could just go on. You know what? What?
No, I have more questions.
Okay, go on.
Charter reform and balance of power.
Oh, see? So she's getting charter money.
All right. Okay. Number 1 is, what do you see as the role of a city council in our strong mayor system? There was no answer for that. That was okay. 2, I'm going to go with yes and no's. The city council currently has very little ability to influence the budgeting process. Would you support legislation to enable line item budgetary changes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Would you support charter change to allow for ranked choice voting in Boston?
They changed OCPF. It's fancy now.
Yes, they got an update.
Okay, go on. What was the question? It's alright.
Would you support charter change to allow for ranked choice voting in Boston?
Yes.
Okay. Would you support changing
Y'all should have voted for that.
the city charter to impose term limits for the office in Boston?
Yes, all of them. Every single one.
Okay. Another section that deleted. Do you support the pilot action group's recommendations for a standing
Would you think?
pilot? Would you? Yes, Nikira, that's exactly. No, this one's different.
All these people donated today. Gosh darn. Ooh, you giving 1,000? Okay.
You maxed
Who's
out.
not employed? Consultant, huh? I'm about to play a game I was playing earlier this year where I'm looking up where these people come from and who they really are.
Hey, wait, okay. Do you support the pilot action group's recommendations for a standing pilot commission with community representation?
What? Yes, probably.
Yes,
I heard community representation.
I think it's the pilot program for the nonprofits in schools to pay us for the land that they take.
Yep.
Okay, another one. Very important one. Do you support safe consumption sites?
Yes. Yes, but yes.
Do you support rent control?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Boston's inclusionary development policy requires that 13% of the units in a building needs to be affordable. Do you support increasing the number?
Yes. 13%. What? How much percentage of people are under the poverty, or like not under poverty, like would be eligible? Shit. For that.
And do you support breaking up the
Yes.
Wait.
I don't know what that is, but they said breaking it up. Yes.
BPA and creating an independent public office of planning.
Yes. Oh yes, the BPDA. Yes, that's the devil. Yes.
And so those were questions that Kim Janey deleted and did not answer.
Okay, so if you delete those questions, ma'am, you're answering the question. That's an answer. Her deleting that is an answer.
It is an answer. It's an answer to say fuck you to the city, and if you're gonna vote
or whoever deleted it. I don't know. We don't know if it was her. Maybe it was a campaign manager. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was another candidate. Like somebody was playing games. Somebody either didn't want her to see the questions or was answering the questions and was scared to say the truth, which is a bunch of things people would not like. I'm telling y'all, I don't know what is making people think Kim Janey is a progressive. Like, is it the weed thing? Like, is that what's going on?
It must be the weed. It must be the weed.
Like, bruh, maybe she just like the 420 blaze it. I don't know. Like, no, like she's a businesswoman. Like, that makes so much money. I'm not saying that Kim Janey doesn't care about her people, her community, Roxbury, the city, all that shit. She's not a progressive. She doesn't even claim to be a progressive, I don't think.
I'm just saying, according to my ideological and personal perspective, based on the policies that she endorses and the policies that she refuses to answer about, such as rent control and safe and
as a Roxbury resident,
she did not give a fuck about us. And if you're gonna vote for her,
as a Roxbury resident, they always care about property owners. When all of us Black people were not all of us, but a lot of us were not able to own property and buy property, and we've been here as long as property owners, but we just can't afford property. So the fact that people like rent control, but what about the property owners? But what about the people on the streets? What about that? What about the people who can't pay their damn rent? The rent is too damn high. Okay, what about that?
I saw TikTok today of somebody in New York for one of the lottery systems. She said she'd been in the lottery list for 6 years. She finally got an email and she couldn't afford the rent that they said that was there. And I said, bitch, that's everywhere. We just all suffering. All suffering, can't afford nothing.
Make a list of what?
I think it's when we were reading the thing. Or OFCP.
OCP, yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I had things to say. I'm gonna be very mad if I am forced to vote for Kim Janey after, for the general election. I'm gonna be very mad if it comes down to Anansi and her, because it will have been one of the biggest
don't
missed
do it.
opportunities for Boston to actually make some progress in a time where we will be underwater soon. Our air quality is trash because of fires.
Plummeting.
Literally, I think I've had a headache for approximately almost 2 weeks.
I'm sick every morning. Wake up, not sick, but like, well, it's kind of sick. I wake up
Congested.
and nauseous.
I wake up like congested, and
You know.
I know it's because of the air. Because
yeah.
like it's the air. I've had a headache for like a couple weeks. I'm not eating right, but that's just because I'm lazy. But
And what about the people with lung issues?
asthma, high-ass asthma rates in our communities. Obviously, the fact that COVID has ravaged.
Feel bad for
lungs.
Springfield. Asthma is the highest in the country.
Like we're literally suffering through this, and we don't. And like, if you live in a big city, you don't have enough trees to actually process out that bad air to help you. Like, especially in like Roxbury, there are some trees, but they're not enough to counterbalance the fact that there's car pollution and air pollution just in general. And the air is trash. It's like Kira said, it's dry air. It's dry, it's hot, and it's polluted.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna die, so vote for Kim Woo. Whoa. When you merge two names together. For Michelle Wu. Thank you.
Also, Joe Biden done snatched Alejandro's former Beyonce, Rachel Rollins. I don't know, she was a little weird last year.
She stopped being Beyonce.
Yeah, you know. And Charlie Baker.
What's she gonna be again? Attorney General?
Yeah, Attorney General. Yeah. No, not Attorney General. She's gonna be state attorney. U.S. State Attorney for Massachusetts.
U.S. Attorney, yes.
Something, yeah. U.S. Attorney, yeah. Yeah. So Joe Biden stole her, and I mean, that's the job for her, I guess. I don't want Chuckles to get to choose a replacement.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Why does Chuckles get to choose? We don't agree.
This DA race is gonna be something different.
I can't wait. This is our original.
This is our
goal.
bread and butter.
This is our original point of starting the show was a damn DA race, and it's about to be the same shit. And you know what? There better be another. I'm talking about. I want a better progressive. I want even more aggressive progressive. I want a progressive that wants to. I want it even worse, bro. We got Rachel doing worse this time. Even more than Rachel. Oh, what if they're dark skinned?
I'm so because so they're gonna conflate. What is that word when you conflate the fact that COVID made a lot of issues much worse in terms of like the fact that people became like. People were poorer because of COVID, and they were doing things that were, like, a little crazier because of COVID. They're going to conflate that with Rachel Rollins being the DA, and they're going to use that as an excuse to push back and be less progressive in the race. And they're going to be like, you see, in the time period where we had Rachel Rollins, there was more violence, there was more yada yada, there was more this.
Hasn't violence been steadily going up for at least, 12 years
well,
or so?
That would mean you have to acknowledge statistics. I'm only talking looking at 2 years and basing off all your voter information and all your information that you'll explain to a voter over 2 years instead of a sample size of 12.
I mean, at least anecdotally, I feel that violence has been steadily getting worse since we were middle school, high school.
Hey, look, but they're still gonna blame it on her, and they're gonna blame it on progressive policies and say that you see more people got robbed and more people got this and this, and we're gonna be like, but what about COVID? And they're gonna be like, no, but COVID that didn't mean anything.
Y'all refuse to give anybody any help, any support. So, but anyway, yep, that's our local news for the night. Unless somebody else has something. Yep, please. Please, get in vigilante shape. We all trying, man. We all here. We all trying. My left arm is really weak. It's like jelly.
No, because I've been going to the gym, and I want y'all to know that those old men can use those little machines at 70 pounds. Me, I'm at 15, 20, 30. Those old men come, put it at 70. Man, sir, you are 70. You should be doing the same weights as me. Frail old men.
You're weak.
I'm so weak in my upper body, my lower body. I got it. I got the strength. But up here, Don't got it.
I used to have upper body strength.
And you know why it's good that I don't got it? Because the draft is coming for me.
That I don't think they could take me. I think I got too many problems.
Yes, you do have too many problems. I was gonna say, first of all, that problem, I don't even like.
Okay, but I didn't. I had depression and suicidal ideation.
Oh no, they like that. They like that.
You allowed to before you get in the army?
No, they like that. I think
before you get in there, I think that's a disqualifier.
You're like, I swear they take them little depressed boys.
I think that's a disqualifier before.
Maybe not now. We had to fight the war.
I meant before you like if it obviously happens after, they're like, no biggie. But I mean like before, I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of things that can disqualify you from the draft. Kane's foot.
What else can disqualify Malaysia's eyesight?
What else can disqualify me from the draft? My back pain, chronic,
arthritis. She likely has that disease where her
Raynaud's. I definitely have Raynaud's.
She got Raynaud's.
That would definitely disqualify me. They send me anywhere cold.
She died.
I'd be messed up. I won't be able to run. Stiff. No, but the truth. But like, let's talk about the draft conversation because people are being really interesting about it. I don't know. Can other people chime in here? But I feel like, as a young black girl who enjoyed history and stuff like that, I've always been opposed to the draft. Before it was any whisper of a conversation about women being drafted, I've been opposed to the draft. Like,
why would I want people to be forced?
Like,
to
why? Like,
service?
Especially black people when this country hates us, and I'm always struck by Muhammad Ali's stance. You know, said I'm not gonna go kill brown people when y'all want to kill me. Me, a brown person over here, with like, huh? I'll go to jail. Thanks.
I'm confused when people are like, we haven't been having this conversation.
I'm like, we've been having this conversation.
We had this conversation. What was that? The 70s, 60s?
That was the 70s. The Vietnam. Yeah.
Yes.
Late. You know,
yes, that was
60s.
That was the late 60s, 70s. We had this conversation. I don't feel a need to rehab it.
I see some people like saying, even women being weird, saying like, oh, all of a sudden all these women are saying they're opposed to the draft when they were never talking about, they weren't opposed to it before. Which sounds to me like that thing people like to do when they like to be like, oh, you're talking about this issue, so what about that issue that you never bring up? What about abusive men, since you're talking about when somebody punched you in the face? Like, that's not, like, I care, but I don't care. Anyway, people who care, people who actually are affected by the historical impact of the draft, or just know things, know about things and care about things, have cared. And it's interesting that people want to be like, oh, you didn't care before, so now you can't care. I'm like, no, nobody who is opposed to the draft, we want people to care. Like, we want other people to be opposed to the draft, whether they're opposed to it just because it's women, or they're opposed to it, they've always been opposed to it, or they didn't know that it was still a thing, which a lot of women didn't know that it was still a thing. Wow. Like, so...
Me, just like, the only good part about the draft is that it would take the men that, needed to go and disappear. And they would disappear from your life for a couple years. That was a positive.
And my thing
except when they came back and beat you.
Also, the other thing is, people are saying like, well, why are we even worried about this thing when draft's never gonna happen? I'm like, so then why do we have it? If they're never gonna draft us, then why do we have it? They can and will eventually draft people again. If they weren't ever gonna draft people again, we wouldn't fucking have a draft. If
there wasn't a concern that we would need people to join the military.
And I don't understand how that's a concern when we've literally forced people from poverty to join the military because it's one of the only viable options for a lot of people to escape poverty. We have the most volunteer service because there's literally no other option for a lot of people.
It's TikTok's effect. TikTok is showing people how bad it is. Them people 2 months, 3 months in on TikTok, like, don't join.
See, and that's why we gotta stop. That's why we gotta stop the job. But I remember one time, I just thought about this. I don't know. I think it was in 8th grade. One time, I was in band class and we were talking about something. I think because in Latin, somebody talked about like equality, but they didn't have like the language. It must have been 9th grade. Sometime. They didn't have, like, the language for, like, equity, whatever. But anyway, somebody was like, in band class, we were talking about something, and I was like, yeah, there are certain things like that I don't want to be quote unquote equal on. Like, and they were like, what? And I'm like, for instance, I don't want to be drafted. And my band teacher was like, you don't want to fight for your country, you laugh, whatever. And I don't know, I don't think that I responded to that per se in that time period, but the truth is, I don't want to fight for my country. Why the fuck would I want to fight for a country that wants to fight me, in fact? But whatever. But the other thing about it is that I don't want to be forced to fight my country, which is what I might have said. Like, and I don't want anybody to be forced to fight for their country. Like, what? Like, forced to go to war? For a war you don't even agree with? I'd rather go to jail. And I think that's funny, too. Like, dudes are like, you have to sign up or you'll go to jail. I'm like, I'd rather go to jail. My thing is, like, signing up, I would probably sign up because when they draft me, I'm going to dodge the draft. And if they catch me, I'm going to go to jail and I'm be like, all right, but I'm not going to wherever you're trying to send me.
Violent area.
Like, jail, I don't give a fuck.
The draft. I just had to, Nancy and Mike were being quite funny. Mike said, can we take a moment to pray for Mal, or at least anoint her with some healing spells? Nancy said, give her some, I can't read, whatever it is. And
give her some, wait,
it is, I believe, words in Haitian Creole. I cannot read it.
Give her some Louis Masquerade. I don't know how to say that last
exactly,
one. Louis? I know that first one.
So, and then Mike said, exactly, bathe her in it, and she'll even have her eyesight cleared up. It's like the lake that Rajavu goes into.
It's probably in my Papa Jim's workbook. You know what it is in English? What it do? What it look like? I can find it. It's hoodoo, right? Voodoo? What's it? It's root work? Tell me about it. Anyway, no, but that's the truth. I'm sorry. When the government comes for me, they're like, you said you would commit a crime. I'm like, yes, I will dodge the draft. That's the truth of the matter. If you try to send me to a country to kill people on your behalf, I'm not going. That's it.
It's
and if you send me, okay.
Mike said it's a blessed oil by monks.
Okay. So all right, but yeah. So in the draft for everybody, men should not be drafted. They shouldn't have been drafted. Also, the thing I forgot to say, which I was going to say earlier, is that the draft, especially in terms of bodily autonomy, has been a feminist issue since at least Vietnam, probably before that. And it is not a new issue to feminism because feminism is the predominant whatever the shit that fought for bodily autonomy. Well, I'm saying feminism as like a blanket term. I mean, like all of that stuff, whatever you want to call yourself, womanism, whatever. Those people who fight for equity and for bodily autonomy and for those sorts of things have been opposed to the draft for men, for women, for everybody. Nobody should be drafted. Like, that's it. But, yeah. And so now, on to more Kofefe news real quick. Everywhere's starting to require vaccination. I don't know what you meant by that, but that's true.
Oh, I meant the federal government. Mm-hmm. Federal government. Everybody's starting to require vaccination. People that you weren't expecting to require vaccination are all like, Joe Biden's now like, all federal employees gotta get vaccinated. A bunch of hospitals are saying, which should have been a duh for me, but
hospitals. You weren't mandatory. Okay, but they're mandatory. Like anyway. Go on.
Hospitals, like, I think St. Jude's, which is obviously one of the biggest hospitals that deals with children.
Okay, but children. Please wait. But kids can't even... immunocompromised kids can't get any kind of vaccinated. Why would anybody in their right sin
not get vaccinated to protect them? Yep.
But
the NBA... Not the NBA. Yeah, the NBA, but the NFL most aggressively is basically forcing people to get vaccinated, and if you don't, you will not be playing in NFL unless you have a religious or otherwise exemption. A bunch of white men have obviously quit their teams, especially the coaches.
That's have good quit for them.
Like assistant coaches in them have quit their teams because they're like, I refuse, Kofefe. Federal government, schools, basically everybody.
Lerwil Masqueretti. Lerwil Masqueretti.
Okay, so
You're strange.
That's Kofefe.
And then Nancy Pelosi who don't know how student loans work. Because who thought Nancy Pelosi knew how canceling student loans worked?
She did the thing that a lot of right-wing people are. They're like, oh, but what if your kid doesn't want to go to school? Then you're going to pay into a system. And we're like, bitch, I'm talking about canceling the loans that are there now. I'm not talking about you paying nothing. This money disappear right now that we owe the federal government. And
do you know what a loan is? Have you heard the word loan before? Like...
It's almost killing me to hear what she said that I said, Nancy, did you hear the word canceling student loans? Like, they're already here. It's a couple $1 trillion. We're just asking for you to just say goodbye.
You know how much that would stimulate the freaking economy?
That's what it
would explode the economy.
It would go
you know
right
how quick people would buy houses? You know how many people that would be a damn baby boom? Oh my gosh, it would be a baby boom if they canceled student loans. Don't they want that?
Whoa, the amount of white people that would have children.
That's what I'm saying. That's not what they want.
Yeah, that is what they want.
So I don't know what the problem is.
That's what they hate abortion, because they want to make sure that white people in the working class stay.
I don't like. I'm really talking about age limits on both ends. Like, it's time, because people like Nancy. Like, first of all, the extreme people like Dianne Feinstein come. Like, it's not even funny. It's just sad. It's like abuse. Like, why are you letting this lady... It is! Like, why are they letting her...
It's just so funny.
Like, why are they letting her sit in there as if, like, she's not destroying her years of being a respected politician just because she's having... I'm sorry, Nancy. I'll call her Pelosi from now on.
She's a sham of a Nancy.
A sham of a Nancy. I do know some nice Nancys.
Me too.
Dianne Feinstein, like, it's like sad, like, not destroyed, but like the way like you can see her fall from who she was to you can see the deterioration
to the shell.
And I'm like, and I'm like, that's not funny. It's not like, it's terrible. There's no need for it. There's no need for it. That's the other thing. The woman is filthy rich. And she just be insider trading all the time, which is its own different issue. But term limits on both ends is what I'm trying to say. And Nancy Pelosi is out of touch, because of course she is. She's 70 however many years old, and she doesn't care to be in touch. There are certain people, like, for instance, Bernie Sanders cares to be in touch with younger people. That's why younger people like him. It's just very funny when they be like, oh, you just don't like this person because they're old. I'm like... They did that a lot during 2016. I was saying, like, what?
I mean, like,
I'm like, Bernie Sanders is old, too.
This old lady Pelosi is talking about, wouldn't you be upset if you paid into a system and your kid didn't use it? I'm talking about canceling student loans. I got these $50,000.
Like I said, she don't understand the word loan. She thought they were talking about universal college, which she should also agree with, because a lot of people agree with it. But there's a lot of things that the average American public agrees with that for some reason the Democrats, who are supposed to be the party of all those people who agree with that stuff, will not vote for. It's really interesting that people continue to vote for them, but yeah, I don't know. And then, you know, in international and pop culture news, why did we have the Olympics? Maybe we just wanted to wipe out the island of Japan. I don't know if that was the plan.
Back. The Olympics where people played naked is the only Olympics I want.
I don't know if that was the plan, but a lot of people got called fifth.
A lot of people got called fifth. The Olympics. There's a fencer on the U.S. team that was originally suspended for sexually harassing / assaulting his teammates. His female teammates, and he was
reinstated.
He was reinstated for the Olympics, and basically he's not able to stay on the Olympic Village.
Oh, so he's gonna bring Gofefe.
He's still playing,
and he's gonna bring Gofefe with him.
Fencing or whatever. So that's fun. On fun news, Australian people, I think personally, are fish. I have been watching a lot of the swimming, and what I have learned is that Australian people might be half fish. I don't have confirmation, and I don't have science to prove it. Besides watching them race over the past 3 days, those people are in the water and out the water. Excuse me, very fast. and I believe they might be part fish. And that is why I believe the show H2O, Just Add Water, was created. It was to show me as a child that Australian people might actually be
That's
fish.
what the Lost Colony of Atlantis is. And thank you, and on to my next point. Oh yeah, okay, so Australian people are fish, and Simone Biles decided to like not participate. And, like, people are really mad. Like, white people are really... You know what's really funny?
You wouldn't think she shot, like, the president or
You know
something.
what's really fucking funny to me? They're like, oh, this girl, she's too good. She's so rude. She's this and that. You know, black people aren't real Americans. Oh, she doesn't look like an American girl. Oh, why is she wearing that hair? Why is she wearing... da-da-da-da, right? The moment the girl said, no, I don't want to do it. Oh, how dare you betray your country? You are anti-American, unpatriotic. You're treasonous to not do flips in the Olympics.
The most decorated Olympian, a gymnast, Olympian, whatever. I think she's the most decorated gymnast, Olympian.
They literally,
American.
And what incentive does she have to participate? First of all, Kafefe, and they won't score her properly because they don't want other people to do what she's capable of. Is that not the point?
On her Facebook documentary, as well as on another thing, she talked about how one of the only reasons she came back and has like become a stable person on the team was because she wanted to make sure that the crimes that creepy ass doctor committed against her and other gymnasts would be like dealt with, because she feared that if she left gymnastics, especially the United States like team, that they would no longer pursue seeking justice for her. So think about that. Think about the fact that she was sexually assaulted by a doctor that was supposed to be taking care of her and all of her friends.
Mad at them were sexually assaulted for years, and a lot of people knew.
And a lot of people knew. They let them get away. They also were like verbally abused by coaches from the time they were like preteens to like adulthood.
And gymnastics is a hell sport.
Hell, your body break all the time.
Like somebody shared something about this dad said he had his daughters watch some gymnast, a famous gymnast from I think the 80s. And he was having them watch one of her famous like routines or whatever. And as he was watching as an adult, she like flipped and she like fell awkwardly and she like was hurt and whatever. And her coach was like told her to keep going, do another flip. And like he had thought it was gonna be like, oh, like, you know, get up and try again. But then he realized like how abusive it was. She was like 17 years old, sobbing in pain. Her coach was like, can you do it? You can do it. You can do it. Like, you know, like, and that's a lot of sports and that sort of thing. But like the what's the word? The exploitation, especially in a sport like gymnastics, where when you think about gymnastics, you think about young women. Like, so like it's rife with exploitation, and it's a body breaking sport, and like it makes sense for somebody not to want to do it anymore, especially dealing with what she's dealt with, the fact that she's not scored properly. She's a black woman in a world that does not appreciate black women who know that they're the GOAT. Like, who's gonna argue? Who's gonna argue?
How are you gonna disrespect me when I'm the best at this? Y'all better get the fuck... I'm so glad that she left that team there. And they still won silver. So let that also be like a lesson. Like, the team still won silver even though she wasn't there. They're still good. Like, silver is still... You're still second place on the Olympic stage. The team still did very good. Like, they were acting like she... Like, I don't know, dropped a nuclear weapon.
They acted like she did something wild.
Something crazy. Like,
burned the American flags. Yo, Michael... Right, and Michael Phelps is a white man. Imagine how much... somebody said Michael Phelps said he attempted suicide twice. Michael Phelps is a white man. Imagine how much he didn't have to deal with that other people had to deal with. If he's going through that much shit, Michael Phelps, one of the other most decorated motherfucker that people can think of in recent times, like... And like the Olympic, like... Sorry, folks. Y'all low-key should have been opposed to the Olympics before this year. But, like, I understand the reasons that people, like... For, like, the COVID thing, that makes a lot of sense to me. That people are like, why would you fucking have this during COVID? But, like, for, like, a lot of the equity issues, I'm like, y'all. Like, I'm with you, but, like, This is the Olympics. It's a vessel for white supremacy and imperialism and white supremacist capitalism.
Displacement, disruption, like everything horrible that could happen to a place.
Abuse of the athletes. Like nothing is. What's good about this thing? A lot of those buildings are not used. One of the only Olympics that made money was LA because they already had a damn amphitheater, which I said last week. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And that's like the Georgia displaced like 30,000 people. Mm-hmm. The Beijing was like 1 million.
Rio also probably close numbers to that million. Like these were just massive displacements of people to build.
And they're not going to use a lot of those stadiums again. I mean, Rio. It has used it for the World Cup or something. Do they use it?
They use it for sporting events sometimes. Most of them will stay empty.
But like I said, LA already had theirs built, so they use it, you know.
It's a fucked up system that shouldn't exist. The World Cup, all of those things shouldn't even exist.
No. And they just exploit like black and brown countries, and like I'm like a lot of these people like sometimes it's kind of sick. Like how sometimes the West will like literally steal like the best people from their countries, like after they fuck those countries. Like it's interesting.
The Olympics that's just the part of it's just a U.S. thing. Russia, they're known for doping people, and I don't like I will swear on my life that they dope these athletes without their permission.
Probably.
And that's also why the Russians are competing under ROC, if you have not noticed.
What's ROC?
ROC is a Russian Olympic Committee because a group of athletes had to propose to the Olympic Committee to play because they can't play under the Russian flag because they're banned from using so many freaking drugs, steroids and stuff, because they had a huge doping incident in the past couple Olympics. China, also very known for the gymnast stuff we know for America. Think about it for China.
Right.
Like, think about the abuse, and a lot of these girls are under 18.
And then when you get to the Winter Olympics, figure skating.
Like, it's a constant cycle of abuse just to put them on a stage for them to come back home and do what? Like, get what? What happens then? Like, in some countries, you, like, get paid. Some countries do not pay you. You come back and what happens? Nothing. Your body is broken from 20 years of playing where you'll likely spend any money you made just trying to deal with the pain that you endured being a gymnast or being a figure skater or being a swimmer. Like,
to be honest, if they were even going to have an Olympics, every year it should literally be in one place. It would suck to have it in the U.S., but it should probably just be in L.A. every year.
It should
not every year, but every time.
You hold it in rich countries. Hold it in countries that have these stadiums built, and that's it. If you have to build stuff, we're not doing it.
Right.
If you need to build more infrastructure that's not like a tent, can't have it. Sorry.
No.
Because it's not worth it. It brings nobody anything. Although one good story from the Olympics is that
facts.
There's this Filipino, is that the right word for it? The right ethnic word? Filipino woman that won a weightlifting. Filipina? Yeah, I think that's the one. She won a weightlifting gold medal, which is the Philippines' first gold medal.
That's great.
Since then she's been they've been in the Philippines because it's their first gold medal. They've been awarding her with different things. So basically she's gotten $1 million worth of prizes just because Philippines Air gave her free flights for the rest of her life. A gas station gave her free gas for the rest of her life.
Fair. That's a lot. Gas in the Philippines.
And a few other things, and that's very cool because for smaller countries, it's very obviously difficult for them to do that stuff. So
whenever you want, Nancy.
Facts. Malaysia is a
Queen, yeah.
And we have a hair product coming out soon.
Hopefully.
No, we do, because I was drawing up the label.
Okay, good. Also, I want to quick say about LeVar Burton Jeopardy. This week he's been hosting, and I missed 2 nights, but I watched this night. Because I don't know what I was doing. Fighting with my internet on Monday, and then Tuesday I just forgot, distracted. But I love LeVar Burton. I want him to host forever.
Me too.
And he says no in that good way, like Alex, where he'd be like, no. you don't add that part at the end, but you hear it. You're cooked. That's not the answer. But anyway, I love LeVar Burton, and he liked my tweet one time, so he loves me too.
And our final topic, we're gonna do it in under. Okay, we've been filming for an hour and 4 minutes. We're gonna get this in under 1 hour and 10 minutes. Bathing. White people don't bathe.
They said they bathe 3 times a week. Also, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis was like, we don't bathe, and we don't bathe our kids unless they're visibly dirty. You know what's funny? Ashton Kutcher was like, yeah, every day I just wash my crotch, wash my pits, keep it funky, But I was telling Melinda, I was like, it's real funny that they do this nowadays. I don't know why they started doing this again. Do y'all not remember all those years? It was, in fact, hundreds of years where y'all were dying from communicable diseases because you just wouldn't wash. You just refused to wash. You do everything but wash. The French created perfume because they didn't want to wash so bad. Yo, when the freaking when they would when the Vikings and stuff would come over and be like, yo, your women fine. And the women be like, yeah, wow, you don't smell like ass. Maybe I want to leave my husband. And the main response was to that, like, it wasn't to wash, no. It was to fight. Because, like,
look, no,
I don't understand your
these people
ancestors.
really be the ones that their kids would be bullied for being stinky and
They're
smelly.
literally, oh my gosh, they were on Twitter acting up. I gotta see some of these tweets. I gotta read some of these tweets.
They're stinky and they're wondering why their kid getting bullied. Because your kid stinks.
I gotta see some of these.
Because little Timmy smells like toes.
This woman said, what she say? Let me find it. We was talking too much today.
Okay, but the toes got us riled up.
Okay, so the woman said, I'm with them. Bathing 2 little kids every day is a lot of work. Plus, it can really dry out their skin. If they spend the day outside in the dirt, then they need a bath. Crunchy hair baths sometimes. Pools also count.
I forgot she said crunchy hair.
Sometimes also. Pools also count. No, it does not. A pool is not a bath. What? And first of all, you should be showering before you get into the pool. Like, you're dirty.
The way
funk.
My skin would dry out if after a pool I did not bathe, I did not shower, I did not rinse.
Yo, you want to see somebody else's response to it? They said, I don't even think I could be friends with someone who bathes their kids every day. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I just can't understand it.
You can't understand being clean.
She said they seem like uptight and anxious people.
They're anxious about getting skin infections, like Akira said, getting warts, getting lice, getting
And
everything.
this hospital worker was like, I don't bathe my kids unless there's dirt crowd or the ones who are constantly at the doctor's office ER because their kids have skin infections, ringworm, lice, bad coughs, etc. As a hospital worker, we can tell who bathes their kids and who doesn't. Trust me. Literally, you know the type. You know the cough in your face, little white child. Like, get away from me.
The one that had the snot bubble and cough like this.
Gross.
That's the one that don't shower too.
Gross.
And we know that's your kid. That's why it's always sick. You would think there's a middle level for children where you can be a little stinky. Because kids are generally a little stinky. They're gross. But a little stinky.
And you know what? My thing is, I'm not even going to go as far as a lot of people would really say. And you really would say, like, if they wouldn't say every day, but a lot of people would honestly say twice a day. But I'm going to give you every other day. But, like, you got to, like, actually wash. And, like, you can't be funky, bro. Mm-mm. If you're funky, you need to take a shower every day. And, like, the shower don't have to be a long shower. Like, I don't think... The other thing is, I'm pretty sure they weren't taught how to wash. Like, I don't think most of them were taught how to wash. And it's scary to me.
Yes, no, this biracial / black woman on TikTok was like, she didn't know that people used sponges or like rags because she was adopted by a white family until she got to college and she was like, everybody else uses it, I should too. And I was like, imagine not knowing you're supposed to like clean behind your ears, exfoliate. You're not so, like, imagine like you don't know that like that the pleasure of feeling your skin fresh and raw.
it's wild because as a black person, damn, she probably asked you to. She probably wasn't lotioning.
Yes, she did mention that too. No lotion.
I don't think white people should adopt black kids. We talked about it.
This is a thing that makes me interested. White people will take showers for 40 minutes. I've lived with them during college. They'll take long ass showers. What are you washing?
I take long ass showers. And sometimes I just be enjoying myself in the heat. You know what I do when I take a long shower? I always wash. Mm-hmm. And then I just be in there enjoying myself, singing the music. Sometimes I give another wash. Sometimes and then there are other things to do because they don't do any of that other stuff where you be exfoliating or you be doing whatever your little things you do if you're for your routine, your beauty routine. We all have a beauty routine. I mean, black people.
Yes.
But, and some of us, we look more low maintenance. But I'm just saying, like, I just need at least every other day. Like, I'll just give you every other day because, like, I don't, like, but if you're an active person, like, basically, if you go outside, I don't understand how you can get into bed without showering if you was outside.
Your feet are dirty.
Like, I don't, like, at least if you're sitting in the house, I'll give you that, I guess.
Your back sweat at least once. I know that for certain, that your back was sweaty. And you're going to put that oil on the bed. You're sick.
Anyway, that's it. Just take a shower. It's okay. The shower's not scary. And you know what? If your kids are dry after... First of all, you don't have to give them a bath. Kids can take a shower too. And in fact, even if they're too young to like stand in there alone, you can give them a shower. Like you can stand there and
bitch, you better get a
and
detachable...
it only can take 3 minutes.
Little shower head. I was going to call it a hose. I was going to say hose the kids down.
Even that would be better than what half of them do. Literally the outside hose. But anyway... Like, you can shower your kids, too.
Wash yourself.
It don't have to be a 40-minute bath.
Literally, exfoliating, you can just buy... At Dollar Tree, they sell sponges. They sell those gloves. I like using those gloves. Those are my personal favorites.
The loofah.
The glove.
The bath brush you want. A rag. They got the ones that expand, like the Captain America and Batman.
There's like a West African rag that I really want to get. That's very long, so I can get my back nice and good.
Oh yeah,
and it's very rough. I need that. There are so many different techniques you can use. Please just shower.
Just regularly. In fact, use soap. Thanks. Because I think that's another thing people be forgetting. Just use some soap. It's okay.
And there are so many black-owned places that have soap. You could buy black soap. You could buy white people soap. There's witchy soap if you're into witch stuff.
You could. You could make your own soap.
You could make your own soap with your kid. Come on, guys.
That Dollar Tree glove, for real.
That Dollar Tree glove, there are a couple weeks I couldn't find it. You know how many I bought to make sure that I had some, and I'm going to go back and get more.
My mom bought me some nice
one the other day.
Like that.
Those gloves, the glove is...
you be like I'm like, y'all never slough off. Yes. Okay, never mind. Now I'm thinking about when I look at white people. Never mind. That's true. They don't ever take off that skin.
Because I be telling people that they clearly don't, they're ashy in a way that we're not, because they're ashy because it's dead skin.
They're just flakes. They shed like...
We're ashy from rubbing ourselves too much. Their skin...
They're like blue tongue skinks.
Whoa, okay.
All right, that's our big brain moment.